Many ethnic minorities around the world do not have their own countries, but they often possess some degree of autonomy and the right to self-governance within the countries they inhabit. However, one group that has consistently faced neglect, oppression, and prejudice is the Romani people, often referred to as Gypsies. Since their arrival in Europe in the 12th century, their journey toward acceptance has been met with resistance. Nevertheless, there is one place in Europe where they have found refuge and established their own municipality. I decided to travel to the heart of the Balkans to investigate how this experiment is unfolding. Enjoy!
You probably heard of Aleksandar the Great, but how much do you actually know about the country that he's from? I want to welcome you to the capital city of Macedonia. We're not doing any ancient tours today, we're not diving deep into the history of this country, but we're visiting something very special, the largest Roma community in all of Europe. Why are we visiting the Roma people, or as they used to call them in British, the Gypsies? Nowadays, that's considered slang. Well, it's definitely not about checking out the poor conditions, because that's been well documented. I'm interested in how did the Roma people manage to create the only municipality in all of the world, with the rights to speak their own language and have a mayor that would represent them in the parliament. So if that's something that you don't know much about, then stick around and let's go together.
Firstly, I need to explain the project 2014 Skopje, which was sponsored by the government of Macedonia with a cost up to $700 million, if not more. It consisted of constructing colleges, museums, government buildings, making renovations, putting up historical figures, and even bringing British-style double-deckers, and setting up tons of monuments that identify with Macedonia. It was a controversial project that got attention from all corners of society and even neighboring countries, such as Greece. What we're about to see is how the project looks like 10 years later, and you can be the judge of it.
This is supposedly the newly constructed city center of Skopje, and look around, it looks like an apocalypse or a war has just happened here last night. The buildings here don't even have windows, there's a fence with the graffiti. The architecture's all over the place. We keep going left, the tile is broken. There's mold growing all over the place. There's more fence, construction. Even the trash cans are broken, they're not even installed properly. Well, we can say one thing positive, that Macedonia currently has semi-democracy. And what I'm doing currently, walking around critiquing the city center, is only allowed because of that system. Otherwise, I would have been stopped, imprisoned, or fined. Let's keep our hopes up for the city and keep walking.
Unfortunately, my expectations for the better were a lost cause, and you can see why. I don't think I remember visiting a city with corruption and neglect that is more evident than here. A total mess.
Everything here seems to be built by very low quality and cheap materials. And this is the reason why there is mold growing, it's deteriorating, it's falling apart. What is the city thinking?
This is the second time the city has undertaken significant reconstruction projects. The first occurred after the 1963 earthquake, which destroyed 80% of Skopje and led to the creation of impressive modernist architecture, led by a Japanese man who also played a role in the reconstruction of post-war Hiroshima. However, this time, due to corruption, I doubt the new projects will last as long as the first one. So I decided to ask this old gentleman who was not happy about the trash.
Почему тут мусор?
Problem, treba da čista, da to...
А мэр, майор.
Ne ide.
Нету?
Then I saw a sign on the ground directing towards the castle and another man littering next to it, which I guess is normal here. Keep in mind we are in the heart of Old Town. An elderly gentleman then began sharing some of the town's history, but the language barrier led us nowhere. Nevertheless, the Old Town, often referred to as the Turkish Bazaar, is a much better place to explore. It definitely feels as if you are in Turkey, with Ottoman-style buildings and everything Turkish being sold. In the past, Macedonians tended to avoid this area for various reasons, one being that it is predominantly inhabited by Albanians, who even have a square dedicated to Skanderbeg.
I think we just found one of the best mosaics here in Skopje. I don't know from what period it is, but it's quite impressive. This is not the Macedonian one, this is dedicated towards the Albanian people. because of all the flags that are seen here.
At the end of this masterpiece, Mother Teresa appears, a debatable hot topic between two ethnicities that is better to avoid. Then it was time to return to the bridge and look at some of the city's maintained statues. However, on the bridge, I crossed paths with the Roma people.
Music, music.
This is probably the best place for begging and earning money, but I was more excited to see this controversial landmark.
In my opinion, this is the greatest conqueror in history, and that is Aleksandar the Great. Unfortunately, it's being disputed between the Greeks and Macedonians. Who is he originally? Is he Greek or is he Macedonian? And that debate will continue for the next centuries. I think we've seen enough, and it's about time we go and meet our fixer who is going to take us to the Roma village. That will help to translate and just to get around.
On the way I passed Stray Dogs, Mother Teresa's house, a New York Stock Exchange bull, and a former train terminal.
This is the old railway station, and when the earthquake in 1963 hit, it hit at 5 o'clock and 17 minutes. I'm not sure it's morning or evening, but it still remains as the way it did. And half of the building is destroyed to the left. Luckily, General Suto invested quite a large sum to restore the city. There you go, there's my fixer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the best guide of Skopje here in Macedonia. Say hello to Aleksandar.
Aleksandar Todorovsky.
There you go.
Macedonia, Skopje. The Americans are calling it Skopje, the deep south people, you know, from Alabama, Louisiana, Texas. And the Brits are calling it Skopje. Wait, we were crossing here. Yeah.
What type of car is this?
It's a Lambo. Mini Lambo.
Atis.
Matisse, 800cc. This is South Korea. Look at this. Look at that. 800cc, 51 brake horsepower, 3 cylinders. You've never driven in one of those. I haven't been driving the car for the past 2-3 weeks.
We began chatting with Aleksandar on various topics, but I had to cut to the main questions and answers since he is a man of many words.
So while walking in the city, I noticed that a lot of the new buildings are actually in a bad condition, in a bad state.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why that is?
Because of the low quality works, you know.
What language did you grow up on speaking at home?
Well, Macedonian.
Even during the former Yugoslavia time?
Well,
it was,
we were
Serbian.
But the people are speaking more. They understand Serbo-Croat because we were part of the same country, Yugoslavia. So we were influenced by the TV, Belgrade, Zagreb. You know, this media, Serbo-Croat language. So, for instance, myself, I speak Serbo-Croat as my mother tongue.
When you were in school, you spoke Macedonian?
Well, yeah. We had the Republic of Macedonia since 1944. That's why Tito is still popular in Macedonia. So,
is it true that in 2001 there was almost a civil war with the Albanians that lived in this
Well, there was
land?
a war. Before the earthquake, they were like, in 51 census, they were like 5%. But then, you know, this Enver Hoxha, he couldn't provide for these people. So, instead of building an economy, he was building bunkers, hundreds, thousands of them. So because he couldn't provide food, shelter, jobs, he pushed them to, you know, Kosovo and Macedonia.
This is a topic that I will not discuss in the video, but you can research the 2001 armed conflict, and it was time for the main destination.
We're entering the town that we came here for.
The only
Let's see what's going to be here.
Yeah, a Roma municipality in the world, Šuto Orizari.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Šuto Orizari, or another name for it is Šutko. So to give you some background, in the 13th century, the Roma people from northern India, nowadays it's Rajasthan, migrated to Europe. And the first place they started to come is the Balkans. And now we see the largest community of the Roma people here in this town in Macedonia. Let's see what it offers and how the people live. After 1963 earthquake, the Roma people didn't know where to go because their town in the city center was destroyed.
Yeah.
So they gave him this part of the fields. Back in the day, this was the fields, correct?
Yeah.
They put him here. They told them you can do self-government without causing any external problems to Skopje or to Macedonia. And I think that's a smart solution. So this is supposed to be the bazaar, but it looks like we're in some shopping center.
In the past, it was really,
Yeah.
obnoxious and ugly, but now look at it. Beautiful.
In 1997, this place got its own municipality with its own mayor. And now you can see at the top here the flag that represents the Roma people all around the world, not only in Macedonia.
8th of April is the Roma Day. Šuto Orizari. Yeah, the
Šutka.
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 It's the best kind.
That's right.
Can you ask him what year he came here?
Чекаме, тука ти си роден, така?
Да.
He's born
Роден
here.
тука.
Дека после земјето нели тука ни даде.
Добро, се родев
Овако.
тука, после 10 години сум отидел на Италија, у Шпања.
Yeah, he was born here in Šutka, and then
после-
he was in Italy and Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's life here?
Како е животот тука, како се живее?
Ама се не е добро.
А?
Живот ма се силно.
Like
не е баш
everywhere,
добро се.
everywhere.
А работа нема,
There's no
политички
jobs.
But who-
Politically, people are separated. Се
Политички
се јадат.
проблем, не.
Who are they building these bazaars for?
Кој го градеше ова пазаров?
Па има нешто блеф, нешто трико и има нешто.
Кој го градеше?
Не знам, едно шепе каже од таму се дојде од сега тој.
he does-
Државно пари јадат.
He doesn't know, that something is he doesn't know what they're doing, but it looks good. Убаво изгледа.
How to say thank you
Кажи му
in Roma?
Садик Джемо.
Sadik
Не,
Jomo.
Садик Джемо is his name. Кажи му како се вика фала на ромски. Фала шу.
Опса стовен са сте саринете, ди намари шутка, шукари паске, кај матол проблеми, а ништо.
Шукар.
Шукар, да контар тови.
Ајде.
Романо народо шукар. Ајди кај.
Thank you.
Because the Romans cannot build these.
One important fact that I need to mention is that this place is the only Muslim Roma municipality that exists in the world. And the reason for that is when they were under the Ottoman Empire,
Yes.
in order to get really lenient working conditions and lenient life and very
Yes.
flexible, you had to convert into Muslim religion.
So you can see in Romania they're Christian, but in Bulgaria most of them are Muslim.
This is where all the action happens in the morning, with the fish, with the meat, with the butchers. You see, unfortunately, this part is closed. I read that people come here to buy cheap materials
it's
and
cheaper.
stuff.
Yeah, textiles and shoes and all kinds of stuff.
What is the price difference, for example, for buying something here in the bazaar?
It's like half the price and less,
It's cheaper to shop in Šutka because they don't pay taxes on these goods, but I'm still unsure why that is the case. We wanted to find out from the locals what the wages are like here, given that the products are so affordable.
I wanted to ask how much is the average salary?
Колку е просечна плата у Македонија тука у Шутка? Колку е просечна плата? Колку си има? 25, 26,000 dinar, that's like 400, 450 euros.
А пензија негде 300 евра.
Yeah, but the pensions, 300 euros.
Зависи према
Yeah, it
стажот,
depends
према.
according how many
Тоа
years you have
зависи.
worked.
Are you from here? Were you born here?
Дека си тука? Од тука си?
тука.
Yeah,
Wow.
од тука си роден?
Да, све
Yeah.
Do you speak the Roma or you speak the Macedonian?
Вика ромски и македонски збориш, па да, yeah.
Македонски зборам.
Македонски,
Да.
well, we
But here they speak mostly.
He speaks Macedonian now, but he speaks Roma as well.
But at home
И
they
ромски
speak
збор-
Roma, right?
Ама дома ромски си зборуваат.
Да,
Yeah,
све ромски.
Okay, very
Yeah,
interesting.
of course.
Is the Roma language the same in all of Europe, or it depends?
Дали е вика ромскиот јазик исти во цела Европа или се разликува, се
Се
разликува?
разликува нормално.
There's a differences.
Зависи се дали во Македонија, дали во другите држави, тоа така
It
се
depends what state you are. So
Не е ист, не е
they're
ист.
mixing like they have the same words Roma,
Okay.
but depends on the country. If you're in Macedonia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, all over Europe,
To
they have
zavisi
different
od
words. It's
Okay.
It depends.
Where are the people getting all this money from to build such extravagant palaces?
Вика, уѓево пари, вика, какви куќи имаат.
Работат. има некои работат.
They
Тоа
work.
зависи од секој месец стават по некој динар
It
на
depends.
страна
They
за да
save.
направат нешто.
They save every
да.
month, you know, to make a big house. Yeah.
A lot of people go to Europe to work, like
Идат
Western
вика у
Europe.
Европа многу луѓе у странство да идат.
Да.
Yeah.
Еве како што постои овдека во Македонија, во Скопје да речеме, слабо има да ги гледаш младите луѓе.
Да.
Све постарите луѓе што се.
Yeah. The young people, they're going to Europe, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Austria. They're all abroad.
Okay.
Only the old people stay, you know.
Shukran. So the parks here are cleaner than the ones in Skopje I saw today.
Yeah.
Much cleaner, actually.
Yeah.
Less trash.
That's what I'm saying. You know, the Skopje government, mayor's office, they're investing a lot of money in Šuto Orizari in order to attract their votes. You know, because they have they're voting like blocks.
And after the elections are over, the
Well-
money stops coming.
Oh yeah, but 4 years will, you know, pass like this. You haven't been here 20 years ago. 20 years ago, it was, as I said, it was all mud and these. There's films which were filmed here
Right.
in Sutka, so you can check them out.
And since this community is Muslim, it's very surprising to me to see like women are really open,
Of course.
especially the ones behind us that just passed.
Well, it's modernization. They are traveling to Europe. They have relatives all over Europe, so.
Yeah. Are you guys from here?
Yes, I'm from here.
Really? You were born here?
Yes.
Wow. How's life here, guys? Is it? You have work?
It's nice. Yes, we have to.
Yeah. A lot of work or so? It's stable. No crime here? No crime? Okay.
Most of the work in Šutka involves selling goods. In Skopje, they take governmental jobs such as street cleaning. However, due to ongoing discrimination, it is difficult for them to access other opportunities. A sad reality that needs to change.
Okay, shukran.
Nice to meet you.
Shukran. Nice to meet you. We are turning out from the main street and we're gonna explore a little bit of the side streets and see what is life like here.
So this is the map of Šuto Orizari, but if you zoom in, you will notice random street names such as Walt Disney, Guadalajara, Garibaldi, and the one we're walking on, Che Guevara. The side streets have a mix of old and new homes, and many kids are playing outside instead of using iPads. Adults are just hanging around. Meanwhile, I wanted to find the street sign for Che Guevara.
This street definitely looks pretty rural because of the condition of it. But at the same time, you see houses that are being built to my right, to my left.
Bravo. Ова е Че Гевара улица. Ама кај има знак да го сликаме Че Гевара?
Нема знак?
Ајде да видиме. Yeah, maybe
Okay.
here no.
That's your music. Wow. Hello. Wow. Hello. How are you? Is today holiday? Thursday? No.
They're celebrating the victory of this political party.
Oh, okay. As we just saw, people are celebrating a win of their party here, huh?
Yes.
Something that happened,
Yeah.
who knows? Well, that's probably an excuse for drinking, I think.
Yes. Well,
We're currently walking on a street that is named Che Guevara, and that's pretty interesting to me since I just visited a couple of months ago a place where Che Guevara was killed by the CIA and by the Bolivian government. Is it like a
many
day
of
of
them
barbecue?
work in the public enterprises. Слушај бе, ова е Че Гевара улица, така? А каде е знакот Че Гевара бе да видиме да кај што пишува Че Гевара да го сликаме? Нема.
Имаш ли ти на улиците тоа
Па
тепте?
немам.
Треба да бараш од полиција, има.
He says US in the city of Skopje, why they don't put this
Да
flag?
идеш да бараш. Знаеш колку улици немаат ни бројчина.
Тајле Че Гевара името? Па од Југославија, нели?
Тоа е бивша Југославија.
Да.
But who decided to name this
Well,
street
during Yugoslavia, communist times.
How was the life here during communist era and now?
Како беше сега, како беше за Југославија? Која беше боле?
Ние Титови војници, пионери сме биле.
Тито, soldier, Тито, pioneer.
Пионер.
Да.
Марама, смера.
Да.
Братство единство ќе копаш кога.
Brotherhood, unity.
Сега
a niko ne работи.
Da.
So
You
the
were
time
all
at that
working.
time was much.
Znači повеќето се свиѓаше у Југославија.
Нормално.
Yes.
Живот имаше, живот.
There was a life that was good for everybody. Now it's utter chaos.
Зашто бега?
But why the young people are fleeing to Europe? There's no jobs.
Кај не гел, кај не ова, кај не ова.
Kind of guilt, no money in
Ďave ти е све, брат. За кого сакаш гласај?
So I'm quite disappointed that this street doesn't have the sign where it states Che Guevara. But according to all the locals, this is it. And it was named during the Yugoslav times.
Calle Che Guevara.
And that makes sense.
Comandante.
I think I have a real feel of this town now by walking on these small streets. Hello, how are you? Very beautiful Roma people. And
Yes.
very friendly.
Yes, nice.
Maybe I should find a wife.
Well
No, I'm just
intended.
joking.
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna. I can't.
You're gonna have a big family.
Pretty simple life here. No horses, no donkeys.
There was in the past, not anymore. Now there's Mercedes. Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Što robiš? Piješ
Hello.
pivo?
Piješ piva? No,
Što ti snimaš, kurva, što?
Америка.
Što snimaš?
Америка.
A, prodaješ.
Показать, как живут люди здесь.
Вие ще правите, добри сте? Не бе, не, сега пиехме. Сега пиехме, айде! Се гледаме, все најбоље. He said, do you want a beer? I said, no, we just drank.
Here you go. A house self-built. Zdravo. Look at this example of self-building. You have the concrete brick, you have the red brick, you have a fence, you have metal, everything in one.
And you got the air conditioning.
Air conditioning, most important.
Yes.
How are the prices here in Macedonia for electricity?
Yeah, electricity is pretty expensive for our wages.
Honestly, this experiment with the self-governance has several flaws, such as its reliance on funding from Skopje and the absence of tax contributions. People still have the freedom to do as they please, so it will be interesting to see how things develop in the coming years.
And they clean the litter again,
We've just exited Šuto, and 500 meters outside of it you can find piles, mountains of trash. I'm really surprised that they don't have a really good trash system here, because the community is quite small. It's 45,000 people, and I think that's pretty easy to control.
The final stop Aleksandar wanted to show me was less than a kilometer away. A luxury housing project supposedly built by Albanians. There are a few theories about what's going on, but we will leave that for imagination.
You see the money? You see the... Yeah?
Yeah, that's a really prime location.
Where that
to
money
live.
comes from. I don't know. This is the first time I see this. It's very, very fishy. At that time, 1,000 sold.
So we left Šuto, and I think that was a pretty incredible experience to witness how the Roma people established a municipality and their self-government. What do you think of not visiting for so long of this place? How has it changed?
Well, it has changed for the better. You know, 20 years ago it was all muddy street, no asphalt layer. Now I can see they've done the sewer, they've done the water mains, they've done the electricity, the asphalt, so it's much better.
The people were really friendly. I mean, that was quite surprising because they get bad reputation. They're always the minority that's been kicked on the sidelines. But here, I felt that they're really open. Everybody wanted to chat. Nobody was hassling us, like you see here in downtown Skopje. So yeah, good experience. And thank you, Aleksandar, for helping me,
you're
for
welcome.
translating, for keeping me safe, even though I was quite scared going.
You're my main man.
Thank you.
In Los Angeles, in
There
LA,
you go.
baby.
There you go. We're
Yeah.
waiting for you.
The
All right,
chefs.
Alexander, thank you for this
You're
tour.
welcome.
I
You're
appreciate it. And if you guys interested to take a free walking tour in the center of Skopje, I will put the link in the description.
It's not free, it's tip-based.
It's a base.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, brother.
Yeah. All right.
I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
We are back where we started, and this has been quite a journey, an experience that I did not expect today. This was totally new to me and super interesting. I think the Roma people in the 21st century deserve some type of a state and respect and acceptance. And that's why this was quite a good example on the path to that. So guys, leave your thoughts below. Any questions, write to me directly on Instagram. Don't forget to book Aleksandar if you're in Skopje, and see you till next time, nomads.
Čičko Fazli Derviš mi je jednom rekao, nama Romima ne treba država, jer imamo celu planetu.